So you telling me you don't got two nickels to rub together to put gas in your tank to get here? You've seen the title of the video. Your girl is back again with another story time. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't have to say nothing because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on what? That's on period and Mary Had a Little Lamb. As y'all can see by the title and the thumbnail, your girl is back again with another horror story. I honestly feel like at this point, I can make a compilation or a playlist of just hair horror stories. Literally, y'all. Anytime y'all see me with braids, just know it was some BS that came with it. Like, I can never have braids in peace. Like, if I want braids, tragedy comes, chaos comes. Like, I could just never have it, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the story. And if y'all want me to put a playlist, because honestly, y'all, I do not remember a time where I got braids and didn't have an issue with the stylist. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna make a playlist for y'all at this point. Like, Asia, this is crazy. Like, you can't even make this stuff up. Like, I literally cannot, y'all. I really just want to give y'all all the details now and just tell y'all how ludicrous this is, because I've been in situations before where I've gotten my hair done and the stylist was unprofessional, but nothing trumps this. Like, nothing beats this stylist. And y'all, we're talking about 3 stylists. I went through 3 stylists in one day. Let's go ahead and get into it. And before we get into it, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and follow your girl over on Instagram. Because y'all, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know that this story time is coming. So boom, I had just got out of surgery. I told y'all I got my boobs done. So body, it was bodying. But y'all, my arms like this, y'all, ooh, it's giving. But anyway, y'all, I could not do this. I could not lift my arms. Like, to do this, all of this hurts. Like, I couldn't really lift anything. My doctor told me not to lift anything over 5 pounds about 6 weeks after post-op. And at the time, I was currently 10 days post-op, and I wanted to outsource everything, y'all. I literally had to have somebody clean my house. I had to have somebody do my laundry, clean my dirty drawers. My boyfriend cooked for me. Like, I could not do anything for, like, I want to say maybe like the first 12 days after surgery. And of course, I couldn't do my hair. I had just got back to Houston because I told you I got my surgery done in Miami. And y'all, I just look like shit. I'm gonna say it. Like, I didn't want to do anything, y'all. I didn't want to bathe. I didn't want to eat. Like, the medication had me really down. So I was just like, I'm gonna get my hair done. I'm gonna get my nails done. I'm gonna go and get some house services just to make me feel better about myself. So I end up going on Facebook because, like I said, y'all, at this time I couldn't really lift my arms, or it hurt to like do any of this. So I was gonna do a house service. And typically when I get my hair done, y'all, I started booking house services. I don't know about y'all, but it just makes everything better. So I went on Facebook. I know y'all probably thinking like, why you ain't book your original braid stylist that you usually go to. I did not book her because homegirl is the Beyonce of braiders in Houston. Last time I got my hair done from my braider, I paid about $500 after tip for this style right here. This is called the I think these are Fulani braids, if I'm not mistaken, either tribal braids or Fulani braids, y'all. These on her website are $400, and that's before tip, and that's without the hair. Like, she includes the braiding hair, but she does not include like the bundle hair. And for bundles, I think these bundles cost like $100 and something on Amazon. So I was not ready to pay $500. I wanted to be frugal and I wanted to be financially responsible. So I was like, let me go on Facebook and look for a braider that was in my price range. So I put a status up and I was just like, good morning, ladies. Are there any braiders in here who do house calls and have availability today? That's probably the first red flag, y'all, because obviously any good braiders, they probably not gonna have same day availability. But like I said, I didn't care. I just wanted my hair done. I wanted my hair done. I wanted my nails done. I wanted to like get out of a funk, and I wanted to start feeling like myself again, y'all. I put this picture up. This is exactly what I was going for. This is what I wanted, and I didn't want to pay over $300 because, like I said, y'all, these braids were gonna be left in my hair for about 2 to 3 weeks. I just needed something in the meantime. So of course, a whole bunch of people start messaging me on Facebook. I end up giving one of the stylists my phone number, and she ends up texting me, y'all. And off bat, the vibes were off. Like, I don't know, like something about the conversation was off, y'all. And I screenshotted the conversation and then I tried to put it on my close friends on Instagram, but I ended up posting it on like my main Instagram story. And a whole bunch of people started messaging me and they was just like, yeah, Asia, do not let her touch your hair. Like, you're not gonna have no hair by the time she get done with you. She got a monitoring spirit. It's giving scam. It's giving evil. Like, y'all were scaring the F out of me. So I respectfully wrote that stylist back and I was just like, I don't like the way you speaking to me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and conclude this conversation. I'm gonna go ahead and read it to y'all because some of y'all don't follow me on Instagram, so you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna read the conversation. Y'all can let me know if I was wrong, because some people did ask me if this stylist was African, because they said people of different backgrounds, they may have like a different tone. They don't mean to come off rude, but it could come off like that. And then other people was just like, yeah, Asia, like, she's rude. Do not let her play with your hair. Do not give her your money. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the part to y'all that I put on my story. Her name, that's ironic. Her name is Best Hairstylist. That's what it say in my phone. I'm gonna put the screenshot right here, y'all. I said, good morning, Christina. I saw you post on Facebook regarding your braiding special for 120. Are you available today? Question mark. She said, yes, I have availability for today. What type of style do you want and where are you located? And then she put, hello, are you there? I'm gonna go ahead and slide over, y'all. She wrote that first message at 9:19. Well, I wrote her at 8:58. She responded back at 9:19. And then after that, she was like, hello, are you there? That was at 9:22. Baby, 3 minutes went by. I don't have 3 minutes to respond back. So I'm like, okay, that's peculiar. That's suspicious. So I said, yes, I'm here. Are you available to do this style or something similar? I put the inspo picture that I showed y'all earlier. I put that in the group, our chat. She said, yes, sure. And what color hair are you considering? I said, just 1B. And do you travel? On her Facebook post and on her website, it did say that she traveled, y'all, but she didn't specify what her traveling fee was. I was assuming that it was going to be contingent on how far I was from her. So she said, yes, I travel, but I need more details on your home address. And then she said, do you need your hair washed and blow dried? And I said, my hair is relaxed and it's bob length. My hair is not relaxed because a couple of y'all was asking me, did I relax my hair? I have a keratin treatment, so my hair is really, really straight, y'all. It's supposed to been start curling back up, but it hasn't yet. So basically, my hair is relaxed. So I said my hair is already washed and it's straightened, and I gave her my address, and then she said, okay, that's fine. I recommend you book through the shop site to secure your spot to prevent any other clients from double booking. Let me know if that's cool with you, or do you want me to do it manually? I said, yes, please send your booking website. So even then, y'all, the lady had a full booking website. Like, nothing about her work gives scam. I'm not gonna lie. Her work was very consistent. Parts were very neat. Like, her work looked like her work, y'all. And her website was professional. So that's her website right here. I said, thank you. I'm reading over everything now. She said, okay, ma'am. I said, what would this style be considered? Tribal braids? Because like I said, I didn't know if these was tribal braids, Fulani braids. I didn't know what this style classified as. So she said, this is knotless boho. And then she said, are you Asia Brown, right? And she then throw me off guard, y'all. She said, do you got chime? How am I on your booking website getting ready to book, put down a deposit, and then you hit me with the, do you got chime? And y'all already know, they say chime gives scam. Like, I used to have a chime account, but I closed out my account when TikTok was saying that chime had stole all their money. Yeah, so when she said that, that kind of threw me off. I said, yes, ma'am, that's my name, confirming that that's my name. And I said, no, I only have Zelle and Cash App. And then I said, okay, I can see if I can get cash. I just had surgery, so I can't drive right now. She said, no stress. I got Zelle, and I hope you're feeling good, ma'am. Then she wrote me back and was like, this is the shop. This is the Zelle phone number for the shop. And then she wrote me back, literally, y'all, I'm not even kidding you. Again, 3 minutes later, she said, hello, ma'am. Are you there? Are you there? I said, yes, that works. Then she said, okay, I'm waiting then, ... And then she said, you're paying right now? Question mark. Need to make an invoice. I said, yes, ma'am. Then she said, I'm waiting ... So this is where it started to get freaky to me. Like, it started that ... It threw me off. It's like, how are you rushing me to give you my money? Like, it's only been 3 minutes. Like, mind you, y'all, I didn't take all day to respond back. It literally was 3 minutes. 3 minutes that had went by. So then she was like, yes, that should be a receipt. You need to absolutely secure your spot before I do that. Hello, ma'am. Are you there? Question mark. I just want to know if you're still interested. So all of this was starting to give me Nigerian scammer. It was starting to give Indian scammer. It was starting to give, I just looking for a quick buck and I'm finna block you. Like, that's what it was started to give, y'all. So then I screenshotted the end of this message. This is what I put on Instagram, and this when everybody was in my DMs like, Asia, please don't do it. Don't let her touch your hair. It's giving monitoring spirit. You ain't gonna have no hair. Your hair just gonna be a spirit when they get done with you. Like, don't do it. So then I just wrote her back and I said, I was, but your unprofessional response worries me, so I'm gonna have to find another stylist. Thank you. So then she wrote me back and she was like, I thought you read the shop terms and conditions before making an invoice. A deposit for securing your spot as to be paid. My bad for making wrong response. So even then, y'all, I could tell from this last message that English was not her first language. So I was just like, okay, maybe it wasn't a scammer. Maybe there was just a cultural difference, or it was just a misunderstanding. But after this, I didn't write her back. Yeah, I don't know if she was an African braider or not, y'all. I just know I didn't like the vibes of how the conversation was going and how she kept rushing me to put down a deposit. It just was unsettling to me. So that's the first stylist, and this leads to the point where I found the second stylist, y'all. Everybody and their mom was writing me on Instagram basically saying, Asia, here, you can go to my stylist, because I ended up putting up a post saying, if y'all have any recommendations for braiders in the Houston area, let me know. So a whole bunch of people was telling me who their stylist is, who they go to, they don't disappoint. One of my followers ended up sending me this stylist right here. I think her name is Cheyenne. Let me find her name, y'all. If I'm not mistaken, I think her name is Cheyenne. Okay, so her name is Cheyenne Tria. Now I'm even looking at this. This looked like this girl gave me a fake name, and then the red flag was all there, y'all. The first message she sent me was the hey boo. But anyway, she sends me well, my follower, she sends me a message and she's like, hey Asia, this is my stylist, and she does, like, her work is tea and she does at-home services. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna contact her. I end up contacting her via Instagram, gave her my number, y'all. She texted me. I'm going to put the messages up here. She was like, hey, boo, it's me, Cheyenne Drea. I said, hello, thank you so much for setting my appointment, because we were already talking via Instagram, y'all. She said, okay, the deposit is going to be $40 and it will be deducted from the total amount of fees. She said, should I send you my Zelle or do you got Apple Pay? I said, Apple Pay is fine. She said, I booked your appointment. Did you receive the confirmation? And then, y'all, she sends me a whole, I'm going to put the confirmation right here. She sends me a whole confirmation, all the information, the time, my appointment, put that it's a home-based service. She has a
Y'all, I didn't even peep this, but while I'm editing, I noticed her booking confirmation even had a picture of her. This is Miss, I need $40. This is Miss, deposit is non-refundable.
whole website. Her work, y'all, her work looks tea. Everything is consistent. It's not different backgrounds. Like, I could tell that it was her work. She had a few followers on Instagram, and she even had Google reviews. Her reviews were like a 4.3 out of 5. Like, everything was adding up. So then she sends me a phone number and she said I can Apple Pay it to this phone number. She said, this is my Apple Pay. You can send it. Let me know once you send it and I'll confirm your appointment or whatever. So I sent it to her. After that, she writes me out of nowhere, y'all. This is where it started to get weird. The girl started nickel and diming me for everything. She writes me and she was like, hey boo, $30 is the total required to get the hair and it will be deducted from the total price. You can also send that Apple Pay. Let me know once you send it. So when she sent that, y'all, I was already confused because I thought that the hair, I knew that the curly hair was not included in the price, but I thought that the braiding hair was included in the price because on her website, it said that the braiding hair was included in the price. So then I'm just like, I could just go ahead and get my own hair because I ain't never know braiding hair that cost $30. 3 packs of braiding hair that cost $30. I never knew that. So then I was like, I can get the hair. What's your preference? She was like, can I see the hair that you have? Maybe I can work with that. And I sent her a picture of this hair right here, the Expressions hair. And then she asked me how many packs I had. I told her I had 6. And then she was like, okay, I have a travel fee. Can you send $15 Apple Pay? Let me know once you send it. So y'all, it went from send your deposit, pay my deposit, she confirmed my appointment, And then you try to get more money out of me. You wanted me to pay for hair, which it stated that the hair was included in the price. So I'm like, all right, that's suspicious. I can just get my own hair. I already had braiding hair at my house. And then when that didn't work, you start asking for gas money. There's nothing wrong with her having a travel fee because this was going to be a home-based service. But why would I have to pay that up front? So I wrote her back and I was like, hey, can I give it to you once you arrive? Question mark. I already sent the deposit and I gave you my address, so you know I'll send it. Like, I'm not playing with you. I really wanted my hair done, y'all. So then she was like, okay, you would have to send the travel fee now and let me know once you sent. And then she put a heart. Honey, what's love? What's sweet? I just told you I'm not comfortable with sending the travel fee. So then I was like, can you please send me my $40 back? Because I don't have time. Like, I don't have time to play. Just go ahead and send me my $40 back. As soon as she started nickel and diming me, asking me for more money, y'all, I was just like, can you just send me my money back? And then she was like, she didn't respond back, y'all. That was at 12:19. Approximately 11 minutes later, I said, are you still coming? Because this was at 12:31. My appointment was scheduled at 1 o'clock. So she was literally coming the day I paid the deposit for my appointment. Then she said, yes, I'm already on my way. And then after her saying yes, she's already on her way, she called me to confirm my address. I confirmed my address with her. And then I want to say, how many minutes later? Y'all, 3 minutes later, I don't know what's with them in 3 minutes, but they love 3 minutes. 3 minutes later, she says, hey, would you be able to send me the $15 so I can get gas really quick, so I can get enough gas? So basically, she's insinuating that she don't even have enough gas money to get to my house. How you confirm an appointment, but you don't have enough gas money to get here? That don't make no sense. And then she said, I'm gonna send you the store gas station Apple Pay so you can send it. So I was like, why can't you use the $40 from the deposit that I just sent you? Then she writes back and say, deposit is required to complete your booking process and secure it immediately. Booking process, y'all, I Apple paid her the $40. The $40 was not sent through her website. The $40 was Apple paid. So I said, yes, I understand that. When you get here, I'll give you the gas money. Then she said, you would have to send it now so I can leave the gas station. So how do you accept an appointment, a house call like that, but you don't have enough money to get here? So now I'm thinking like, all right, this girl really trying to scam me. But then at this point, y'all, I pull up her website, pull up her shop. Shop has good reviews. She literally has a physical shop. So that's another thing that I'm confused about. I'm like, how am I getting scammed when homegirl on Instagram said this is her stylist? Am I being tag teamed at this point? So I write her back and I'm like, I'm gonna send you the $40 once you get here, but if not, then you can just forget about it. Like, I'm not sending you the $15. I'm not sending you $15 for gas. So then she was like, okay, I'll just take it out your balance. I said, okay. Then she sends me the same Apple Pay number. I don't care about blocking out the number, y'all, because she's a scammer. The same Apple Pay number that she sent me earlier so I can confirm my deposit, she sent that same Apple Pay and said, send it here. Let me know once it's sent so I can leave the gas station. So you telling me you don't got two nickels to rub together to put gas in your tank to get here? So after that, I said, didn't you just say that you were going to take it out my deposit? She said, yes. I mean, you should take it out the travel fee. She said, yes, I'm going to take it out the travel fee. I'm providing all what you need since you got the hair and your hair is washed and blow dried. Are you there? Because I started responding at this point. I said, I'm not sending any more money. She said, should I send you my shop address? I said, why? Aren't you coming here? You already stated that you was on your way. So how are you now going to magically end up at your shop? You gonna teleport to the shop? Okay. So then I said, what's the address? Basically just playing with her, y'all. I'm like, what's the address? She was like, I'm already on my way. I just have to get some gas. Which one is it? You want me to meet you at your shop or are you on your way? Like, I was so confused, y'all. So then she was like, would you be able to come? I said, yeah, I can have somebody take me, because I had ended up calling my homegirl because, like I said, y'all, I was on medication. I could not drive at the time. And like I said, it literally hurt for me just to like open the car door. That's how bad like my armpits was hurting, y'all. So I was just like, talking to my homegirl about it, and I'm like, I'm not about to have my homegirl drive me 30 minutes across town to her shop. And traffic, Houston traffic is terrible, y'all. So it's really gonna take about 40 minutes to get there. So then I end up basically just telling her, hey, I'm not coming, just send me back my money. Then homegirl hits me with the deposits are non-refundable. So I'm like, you changed the plans last minute. We agreed on a home-based service for 1 p.m. Then you claimed you didn't have gas money to commute, and then you started requesting it up front. I clearly stated I would provide it once you arrived. So how's that my fault? Then she said,
Y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of the messages out because it's just a whole lot of back and forth. But basically, she started bringing God into it. This was the last message that I sent her. And it's just like, why every time somebody being the devil, they bring God into it? God don't got nothing to do with you needing $40. Just say that you needed $40 and call it a wrap. Like, that was the end of our conversation right here. Now I'm about to move on to the third and the final stylist. If you want all the receipts and all the screenshots, I'm going to add it over on my Patreon.
Service. I was just like, at this point, God is telling me just go to a shop and get your hair done, y'all. So I end up typing, at this point, this was like later on in the day, maybe like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, y'all. I end up typing in Google, braider shop near me. And literally the first one that came up that had above a 4-star, y'all, I clicked on it. I called the shop and I was just like, hey, do you have any availability tomorrow or later on this week for Fulani braids? They was like, send me a picture of exactly what you want. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the receipts up, y'all. So I sent her a picture of exactly what I wanted. She ends up sending me the address, and then she asked me if I had any curly hair. She said she would supply the braiding hair, but I would have to bring my own curly hair. So I told her that I had 3 bundles of curly hair, and I'm gonna put the picture of what I sent her, y'all. I sent her this. She said, yes, that's good. The next morning, y'all, I text her and I was like, hey, good morning, I'm on my way. And then she said, okay. So at this time, y'all, mind you, I still could not drive, so I called the Uber the next morning to my appointment. And literally right before I got there, because I was like 3 minutes away, and I asked her if she was in like the Post Oaks area, and she was like, yeah, because it was crazy, y'all. Leading up to the shop, it was a whole bunch of apartments. Like, it was a long road. It was a whole bunch of apartments. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with like the Post Oak Galleria area, but it's a very nice neighborhood or whatever. So I wasn't even thinking anything of it. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe we're gonna pull up to a plaza and then boom, I'm gonna get my hair done. But y'all, I call her and I'm like, hey, I'm close. It says that I'm like 2 minutes away, but I don't see the shop, y'all. And she hits me with the mind you, the name of her shop is, I think it's called Umida Braiding. I'm gonna put it right here on the screen, y'all. So I'm like, hey, I'm here, but I don't know exactly where to go. Like, it's bringing me to an apartment. I was just like, okay, like, what's the name of the shop? She calls me back and she was just like, oh, I can't remember the name of the apartment complex, y'all, but she basically named the apartment complex, and I was literally in my Uber directly in front of this apartment complex, and she's like, yeah, it's gonna be building 214. By the way, I do hair out of my house. You do hair out of your house? That would have been nice to know before I got here. That would have been nice before I took a 30-minute Uber here. That would have been nice. You should have told me that before I got here. But y'all, I'm not too good for a house call. I done got my hair done at people's house before and they have slated and laid it. So I'm just annoyed that I'm thinking I'm going to a shop and then you telling me that you do hair out of your house literally when I'm telling you I'm on my way. Why didn't you mention that before I got there? Why didn't you mention that the day before when I booked my appointment? And another reason why I really thought it was a shop, y'all, was because she didn't require any deposit or anything. I go inside the apartment, and it was a really nice apartment in a really nice area. It was like a townhouse, kind of like condo apartment. It was really nice. Y'all, I knock on the door. I can hear her like putting away a dog or whatever. And then she opens the door, and she's like very jolly and in good spirits. But red flag number 1 was she ain't had no hair. Y'all already know what they say. Never let somebody that do not got no hair do your hair, because that means that they don't care about their hair because they don't got no hair. But y'all know I just cut my hair. So I'm just like, all right, she bald head, I'm bald head, we both bald head. We stand in solidarity. Like, it's okay. I don't got that much hair, so you can't mess this up. Like, I really don't have that much hair yet. Y'all know I had just cut my hair. My hair is like a little below my ear. So I'm like, all right. let's just rock with it. I'm already here. Like, I already done been through so many hoops and ropes to try to get my hair done. I'm here now. Let me just get my hair done, y'all. But the first red flag was when I got there, she had a client sitting in her chair and she let that client leave unhappy. That client left unsatisfied, y'all. Literally, I was sitting downstairs in her living room, y'all, and while I'm down there, she ends up like calling me over the balcony, and she was like, come, you can come up here. When I go upstairs, she had a studio like area in like her second living room, and it was kind of set up like it was a shop, y'all. This is how they get you. She had like tile floor, but not really tile floor. It was like she had the tile laid on carpet, y'all. She had the professional chair, the professional mirrors. Like, she had the whole thing set up in her home as if she was in the shop. Like, it literally looked like a shop. If you over on Patreon, if I have a picture of it, I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna screenshot something off her website so y'all can kind of like see the vibe, and y'all cannot tell me that this did not get shop. But anyway, y'all, I sit down and she has somebody in her chair. She tells me that she's gonna be right with me. She's just finishing up like the final touches on her hair, which I was confused, y'all, because when I came in and I seen her hair, it looked like her hair was like turned inside out, like her cap was turned inside out. It don't even look like she was nowhere near done with her hair. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna just give her 15 minutes. If it take longer than 15 minutes, I'm leaving. Like, at this point, y'all, I ain't have no more patience. I'm leaving. So I sat there for like 10 minutes, and then the client that she had, she gets up, she goes to the mirror, and she's looking at her hair, and she's like, why is my hair wet? Why is my hair wet, y'all? And she tries to gaslight this lady. Gaslight this lady and tell this lady it's not wet, it's moist. Tomato? Wet, moist? Like, what? She's like, it's not wet, it's moist. So the girl is like, are you sure when I go outside it's not gonna puff up from the humidity? Mind you, y'all, it was drizzling outside. Like, it was drizzling outside when I came in from my Uber. And she has like a bob, and then she did like leave out in the front, like with a natural bang. So I'm looking at the girl, and the girl looks so disappointed in her hair. Like, she keep looking at her hair in the mirror, and she keeps touching it. And she was like, are you sure you can't dry this? And the stylist, she had a very thick accent. She definitely was African. She did tell me that she was from West Africa, y'all. But I don't know exactly what she was saying because her accent was very, very thick. Like, I was picking up every other word, y'all. So she basically was insinuating like, oh, no, it's fine. It's going to air dry your hair. It's not going to frizz up. The lady even was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And she's like, yeah. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm like, oh, hell no. That was red flag number uno, y'all. That was red flag number one. So that lady leaves. She ends up paying her. But it kind of gave the vibe that she was a client and she was a recurring client, y'all. Because when she left, the lady was like, I'll see you next week or whatever. So I'm thinking like, okay, it must not be that big of a deal if you coming back next week. Like, it seemed like she was a recurring client of hers, y'all. She tells me to come sit in the chair. And immediately when I get in the chair, she looks at me and she was like, did you bring the hair? And I was like, yeah. She was like, where's the braiding hair? And I was like, the braiding hair, I just brought the curly hair. You told me that the hair was included. She was like, oh, no. So are you going to buy my hair from me? And I was just like, I guess. Like, I'm in your chair at this point. I guess. So I said, I guess. And then she made like a little chuckle. She was like, and then she started parting my hair, y'all. And mind you, there ain't no way you could really mess this up because my hair is like, it's super straight, y'all. Like I told you, I had a keratin treatment in my hair, so my hair is super straight. And another thing was, she didn't even start. Everybody know when you got natural hair or any type of hair, you're supposed to start from tail to root, but she started from root to tail, and that bothered me. But the only thing was my hair is straight, so it didn't hurt. Like, I didn't have any knots in my hair. I didn't have to blow my hair out or do anything because my hair is naturally straight now, y'all. Well, chemically straight. So she does that. She's parting my hair. She's like combing my hair. And then maybe like 40 to an hour into her doing my hair, another client comes in and the client calls her and she's like, okay, I'm coming. She goes downstairs. She gets the client, bring the client up there. She even had like a little waiting area like in this little studio area of her apartment, y'all. The client sits there and she's talking about something. Oh, I'm gonna be right with you. How you gonna be with her when you still with me? So I text my friend immediately when she said that. I text my friend and I was just like, if she stopped on my hair, I'm leaving. Like if she stops on my hair, I'm leaving. Like y'all tolerance was already at an all-time low. So while she's doing my hair, I'm trying to feel to make sure that her work is the work like it looked on her shop, y'all. So I'm going all like this. Like I'm literally scratching my pupils trying to look. I'm like I'm literally examining the braid. I'm looking. I'm like, okay, it's a braid. Like I'm literally just looking. I'm feeling my hair, making sure I like the size. I'm low-key trying to take pictures of my hair. Like I got my camera up, looking in the back of my hair. I'm feeling it. I'm making sure I don't feel no knots. I'm trying to make sure it's truly knotless. I'm doing all of that or whatever. So then out of nowhere, I guess she peeped that I was doing all of that. She was like, go look, let me know if you like it. So I get up and I go to the mirror, y'all. The same mirror that the previous client was disappointed in. And I'm like, where's the rest of the braid? Like, y'all, she literally stopped my braid right here. And that was it. Like, there was no more braid left. Like, she stopped my braid literally right there, whatever. I'm like, damn, where's the rest of, like, where is the rest of the braid? Like, my hair stopped right here. In the inspo picture that I sent her, the braids are definitely giving lower back level. Why my braids stopped right here? So I look at her and I'm like, I don't like this. Why is the braids not going all the way down? Y'all, then she proceeds to try to gaslight me. She's like, no, this is nice. This is how the style looks. I pull up the picture and I'm like, no, her braids are at her lower back, like damn near touching her tailbone. My braids is giving a step below Dora the Explorer. Like it's giving Dora grew her hair out for the summer, but she's not there yet. Like she's unfinished. So she's like, oh, it's okay. I'll fix it for you. It's okay. I'm like, all right, cool. So at this point, I'm getting a little anxious, y'all. And I don't know about y'all, but I call my friend. I call my homegirl. And I'm just trying to like take my mind off of all the foolishness that was going on. And I'm just talking to my homegirl. And she's just telling me about a date that she was on or whatever. And we're just kiki. We just chopping it up, y'all. I got so comfortable that I ended up putting my homegirl on speakerphone. And in the middle of me putting my homegirl on speakerphone, my homegirl had recently went on a date with, I think, a Nigerian man or a guy of African descent. And she didn't know that I had her on speakerphone, y'all. But she said something along the lines of, I do not recall exactly, but my homegirl was just like, she said African men are just so stupid or something like that. Something along those lines, y'all. And when she said that, you could literally hear me breathe. Like you can hear me breathe. You can hear a nickel fall on the ground, y'all. So when she said that, immediately I froze up because I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope this lady did not hear this. But y'all, she indeed heard it, because even when I was on the phone, she was like watching like a video, and after she said that, y'all, her YouTube video, whatever she was watching, that got mad low or whatever, took my friend off speakerphone, put the phone back to my ear, and my friend was just like, Asia, what's wrong? Like if we on the phone and there's nothing but air and opportunity, you don't hear nothing, you know something is wrong, because all I do is yap, y'all. So she's like, Asia, what's wrong? I'm like, check your phone. Check your phone. So I text my homegirl and I'm like, literally trying to text her in code because I'm thinking the stylist could be looking over my phone like while I'm texting her. So I'm literally like abbreviating stuff, and I'm gonna put the messages between me and my homegirl or whatever. And my homegirl, she still doesn't get it, y'all. She still doesn't get it. I'm just like, don't worry about it. Like, I'm gonna talk to you later or whatever. But I played it off, y'all. We stayed on the phone for like an additional 5 minutes. And then after that, homegirl, y'all, homegirl started dipping the ends of my hair. Remember I told y'all I wanted her to add more braiding hair because she stopped my hair like shoulder length. She started dipping my hair. So I text my homegirl and I'm like, what did I text her? Let me pull the receipts up. I'm gonna put the text messages in here, y'all, but please don't mind anything I was saying. I was teed off at the time, so I was really going off in these text messages. Fix this. Like I told you earlier what I wanted to do, but you wanted to go ahead and dip my hair in hot water and seal it up. Oh baby, it's gonna be until. So I let her do that, and then she tells me She tells that client, remember that same client that I told y'all that came in the door 2-3 hours ago? That client is still sitting there with nobody in her hand. She then reminds that client and says, hey, my daughter's gonna come in a little bit and we're gonna start working on your hair. That client must have been a reoccurring client, y'all, because she was still just there looking calm. Like, she was patient. It was like an elderly lady, maybe like in her 50s, y'all. So then she sends me over to her daughter. At this point, she completely braided the back of my hair. The back of my hair is box braids, and then the front of it is plaits, y'all. Well, I think the back, what is plaits, y'all? Plaits is when you braid it to the scalp. I think that's what plaits is, y'all. But anyway, she does that. She sends me off to her daughter, and then another lady comes in, like maybe 30 minutes into her daughter starting the braids on my hair. Another lady comes and she starts braiding my hair all the way down to the end. She starts feeding in more hair. So I'm like, okay, like that didn't make no sense that you sealed it and then you brought somebody along to like finish breaking it down. Like, it didn't make no sense to me, y'all, but I was just happy that she was finishing what she said she was gonna do. So now we sitting there, whatever, she's finishing it. The one girl is breaking the ends of my hair in the back, and then her daughter is like doing the top of my hair. And this is the whole thing, y'all. While she's getting her hair done, another person comes in, another person calls the same way I called. Like, the entire time while I was getting my hair done, y'all, her shop was in rotation. She had about 5 or 6 people in there literally the entire time, and people kept calling in saying like, hey, can I come today? And she would basically just be making up times, like gauging time. She was like, what time, what style? Okay, you can come in 30 minutes. Okay, you can come in 3 hours. Okay, you can come tomorrow. Like, oh, you can come this. Like, she would be giving prices up off the top. Like, she has a legit website, and she has, like, I'm gonna put, if you want my Patreon, I'm gonna put her Yelp and everything up here. But it's crazy, y'all, because it was like the styles and the prices, she was literally just making them up out of thin air. I told y'all I didn't want to spend over $300, so the price that she quoted me for this style was $220, and I didn't have a problem with paying that. So anyway, y'all, I'm getting my hair done, and I'm peeping what's going on with other people getting their hair done. Maybe about 4 hours into me getting my hair done, y'all, I end up asking her like, hey, can I take a break really quick because I have to go to the bathroom. I go downstairs to the bathroom, y'all, and that's when I realized I couldn't even wash my hands. You ever been into a bathroom that's been so nasty that if you wash your hands, more germs, like you gonna leave the bathroom with more germs from washing your hands than not? That's how nasty the bathroom was, y'all. Like, I could not even turn off the light. That's how nasty the bathroom was, y'all. Literally, the bathroom was disgusting. It was so nasty. Like, have y'all ever smelled cow shit? Like, fresh manure? Like, fresh. That's literally what the bathroom smelled like, y'all. It was like the worst squat piss ever. Like, I could barely even squat. Like, I didn't even want my punani to be in proximity to the toilet. That's how bad it was. But I literally had to go to the bathroom, y'all. I honestly would have respected her more if she would have been like, no, ma'am, you cannot use my bathroom, than to allow me to use her bathroom. It was so disgusting, y'all. This is how the lights look on the bathroom, because I couldn't believe it. I sent this to my friends, and I'm like, disgusting, y'all. I go back upstairs, and she's like, oh, give me a moment. And at this point, she has probably about maybe 30 more minutes into finishing my hair. My hair is literally almost done. The homegirl is still braiding up the ends of my hair, and then she probably had like 2 or 3 more plaits to do at the top of my hair. So I'm like, let me just go ahead and just wait it out, y'all. And another thing was, I was so thirsty. Like, I was so parched. Y'all. And I even told my friend, I'm like, it's so nasty in here that I can't even ask for a glass of water. The water may be contaminated. That's how nasty it was in there, y'all. And I was so surprised that the bathroom even looked like that, because the rest of the house, like the kitchen was nasty as well, but like the living room area and like the salon area, that area, it wasn't as bad. Like, it wasn't neat and clean. There was like hair on the floor, but that's expected if you're doing hair all day, y'all. So in the end, I did end up eventually liking my hair. They did braid my hair all the way down. It does go to my lower back. And when I looked in the mirror, y'all, the hair was teeth. Like I said, I cannot take that from her. She can braid very, very well. But y'all, I didn't leave yet without her trying to gaslight me for the 3rd time, y'all. Again, when it's time for me to pay for my hair, I always ask, how much do I owe you? Baby, best believe I know how much I owe you, but I'm going to go ahead and ask. I'm not just going to give somebody money without asking them how much do I owe them. So I'm like, hey, how much do I owe you? This lady looked at me and was like, 400. My name is Asia, but I am not an ATM. 400 where? 400 who? If I knew this was 400, I wouldn't even be here. So I looked at her and I was like, what? You told me last night on the phone before I booked my appointment that it was 220. She said, yes, but this is an intricate style. This is not the style that you put to the picture. This is not the style. This is intricate, very detailed. Well, baby, undetail it because I'm not paying it. So then I'm really pissed off now, y'all, because she has a shop full of people. The lady that was finishing the ends of my hair, she moved on to a guy's hair, and then it was another girl that was getting her braids taken down that she was sitting on the couch. So now you got all these people in here and you're telling me that it's $400. So I was like, no, you never said it was $400, because if it was $400, I would not be here. Like, I knew what my budget was and I was gonna stick to it. So then she's like, yeah, that you didn't even have hair. I also need to charge you for the braid. I said, no, you never told me that. I sent, mind you, y'all, remember the picture I put in the beginning of the video? I sent her a picture of the curly hair. That makes sense that I'm supposed to supply my own curly hair. But why in the hell would I have to supply my own braiding hair and I'm paying over $200? So then once she seen that I was not doubling, I was doubling down, but baby, I was gonna stick to it, and I was not gonna let her try to gaslight me to tell me that I needed to pay $400. Then she was just like, let me see the picture, let me see the picture. So she tried to tell me this picture right here, in this style that I have in my hair right now, she was trying to say that this style is more intricate to that. I said, no, that's exactly what I said I wanted, and that's exactly what I got. And if anything, I got less than that, y'all, because the curls on my hair start maybe mid back, and the curls on that girl's hair start like her lower back or whatever. So I basically told her I wasn't paying it. I was only giving her $220. And then after that, she was like, okay, $220 is fine. Remember I told y'all I was on the phone with my homegirl. After I sent her the $220, she asked me, she's like, hey, can my daughter take pictures of your hair? Don't leave yet. Can my daughter take pictures of your hair? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I sent her the $220, y'all, via Zelle. And then I'm waiting for her daughter to come back upstairs because she had started like throwing away stuff. And then she hits me with the, oh, I heard you was on the phone with your friend. Are you a travel agent? Because you travel a lot. Because I think me and my homegirl was talking about Japan and talking about like other trips and stuff that I had going on, y'all. She was like, oh, you a travel agent? I said, yeah, I'm a travel agent. And then she was just like, oh, I'm going to Senegal. I'm going to Senegal to visit my husband. You book flight for free? You book flight for free? You do hair for free? The same way I just had to pay you, the same way, why would I be booking you a flight for free, y'all? But you know, I don't know her like that. So I'm just like, oh no, I charge a research fee, but where are you trying to go? She's like, I'm going to Senegal. I'm going to Senegal. How much is a flight to Senegal? I do not know. Like, I do not know. So I'm telling her, I don't know, but you can like go to my website and fill this form out, and then I can definitely like assist you. So then she hits me with the, oh no, I want to go this date and that date. Like, she starts telling me all this information, saying how many flights that she want, how long she's gonna be there. And she's like, your name is Aisha, right? I'm gonna save your number. I'm gonna save your what? After you just tried to charge me $400, you didn't tell me that you did not have a shop until I got here, y'all. And the crazy thing is, even on Yelp, like on Google, when you Google the name of her shop, it comes up and it's listed under shop. It's not listed that y'all, it was crazy. Nonetheless, I ended up calling my homegirl. My homegirl picked me up for my appointment, and it was crazy, y'all. It was crazy because I was telling my homegirl, I was just like, this is crazy that I go through this around this time, y'all, because if she would have tried me, I wouldn't have been able to even properly defend myself immediately, y'all. She would have hit me and my titty meat would have been on the floor. Like, I was literally 10 days out of post-op, so I was very vulnerable at this time and just annoyed with the whole process because she was like hella unprofessional. After you gaslit every single client that you had in there, then you tried to ask me to look up services for you for the free ski. Crazy. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much the story time on how I cheated on my stylist. And honestly, it would have been worth paying my stylist the $500 to get my hair done, because I know if I would have never had to go through all of this. I would have never had to deal with the last minute changes, and it was a lot, y'all. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you over on my Patreon, I'm gonna post the other story time that I don't feel comfortable with putting over here on YouTube because it's just a little too much. I try to keep it very PG over here, y'all. Try not to do too much over here. because YouTube be tripping. There's certain words and certain things that you just cannot say, and certain topics that you cannot talk about over here without getting demonetized. So if y'all want to see uncut content, I'm gonna have it over there. That's why I try to like really tone it down. Mwah.